I say.
Have you an invitation, sir?
I did when I started out, but,
This is a private function for Pentagon Television personnel.
perfectly. But unfortunately, I mislaid my invitation card in a ditch about half a mile back.
Your name, sir?
Clifford Turnbull, Major, R.E. retired.
Oh, perhaps you'd better wait inside.
Very well.
Light switch on your left, sir.
I see.
Oh, by the way, orders are not being worn tonight.
What? Oh. Oh, very well.
Hang around, old son, will you? Just saying good night to my niece. Magazine. Well, now look here, there. I can't promise you anything yet. There's some other young ladies to audition first. But if you can balance a parrot on your shoulder, the part of Long John Silver could be yours.
Dominate the television scene, you've said, Hodson. Show me one scrap of evidence that Pentagon's doing that.
Oh, come now, Sir Zachary. Rome wasn't built in a day.
If I'd been in charge, we'd have built Rome by lunchtime and sold it to America in 26 episodes.
Be fair, Sir Zachary. Remember my words a year ago. I promised then the Pentagon would not duplicate the cheap, tasteless, shoddy products of our rival companies.
And by God, you went wrong. We haven't duplicated. We produce cheap, tasteless, shoddy programs of our own.
Major Turnbull is without. He has no invitation cards.
My brother-in-law. Deal with it, Hilda.
Kick him out. Company's not paying for free close-up for all your relatives.
Well, I'm paying Sir Zachary, and stop worrying about money. Pentagon's ticking along very nicely. Loan up. We had a winner last week when we showed the finals of the Miss Universe contest.
Oh, aye. 20% of the viewing public watching us.
There you are, Clifford.
Ah, Hilda, my dear.
We'd almost given you up.
Well, that's what I always said. You can give up smoking, you can give up drinking, but you can't give up Clifford Turnbull. That's what I always say.
Well, I wish you wouldn't, especially tonight. Harold's not in the mood for it. Pentagon in trouble, and he's having a difficult time with our main shareholder, Sir Zachary Stein.
Oh, don't fret, Hilda. Let me loose you there for 5 minutes and I'll hit him for 6. My mind goes back to a night in Tobruk. I was in charge of a detachment from Ensign. Warnell had just blown up an ammunition dump and was trying to drive a wedge between Elsie and Doris Waters.
That's good to hear, but some other time.
Sir Zachary, I'd like you to meet Jellicoe Withers, our casting director. His loyalty to the company is an example to all of us. See, even at a party he won't let up. That man will probably die in harness.
Well, if he does, make sure he doesn't get into the papers. I've no stomach for sexual gadgetry.
Sir Zachary Stein, may I say what a great honour it is to shake the hand of a man I've admired for so many years.
This is Roddy Cheever-Jones, our youngest producer. He's just come down from Cambridge.
I trust on a cheap day return. Mainly a mild parasite. What department's he in?
A variety. They moved him over from religious broadcasting. The trouble was he confused the odour of sanctity with the sweet smell of success. He used to produce our Sabbath sing-along.
Well, we all know what a fiasco that was.
A fiasco, perhaps, but a very tasteful one.
Tasteful? Half a dozen nuns singing Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Say as you like, it nearly started a religious revival.
Oh, aye. Took people away from the television sets and drove them into church.
There's always a small devout backlash. Oh, Bernard, I'd like you to meet Sir Zachary Stein. This is Bernard Pratt, our assistant head of variety. He's the deep one, our Bernard. Doesn't say much, but he has ideas that'll set our program schedules alight.
Well, if he has as much success as he's having with his pipe, we're in for a long, hard winter. Sit down, lad. We'll stop your growth.
Now be a dear and circulate. Only mind, not too boisterous.
Oh, yeah.
Who's the little darling in the velvet two-piece?
Rex Witherley, he's a senior producer.
Oh, well, they should have never abolished national service.
In all modesty, I do have a certain charisma that attracts the big names of show business. Only have to flip my fingers and Maria Callas is over here with her sheet music like a shot. The cream of the profession, all dying to work for me. Sammy Davis, Noel Coward, Marlene, London Symphony Orchestra, Eddie Waring.
Arthur Bunting? Sergeant Arthur Bunting, to give him his full title. When he was at his lavatorial best, he could bring to the naffy some of the glitter of the London Palladium.
Dear God, spare us the amateur movement.
Don't sneer at amateur, Sonny Jim. Look to your dictionary. An amateur is someone who does something for the love of it. And if anyone loved doing it, it was Arthur Bunting. His court-martial cut short a very promising career. Ah, I've got a little beauty for you.
This was a private conversation.
No, there were half a dozen of us standing around swapping stories.
Melanie, why didn't I get you another drink?
Melody, there was this drunk staggering around the street, but suddenly he saw a policeman. He went up to him and he said, "Excuse me, but where the hell am I?" So this... I've got a little classic for you. Here I am. There was a drunk staggering around the street, high as a kite, but suddenly he saw this policeman. So he went up to him and he said, I saw a drunk. I wonder if you'd like to hear the story about a drunk and a policeman. And he was, I wonder the tale that might have told you. There was a drunk staggering around the street, and suddenly he saw, there was an awfully amusing tale I heard the other day about a drunk and a policeman. You see, this drunk went up to this policeman and said, "Excuse me, where the hell am I?" And the policeman said, "Well, sir, I'm standing at the corner of Oxford Street and Tottenham Court." Ah, hello there, sir. How are you?
If you're handing in your resignation, it's all right with me.
Resignation?
You work for this shambles, don't you?
Good heavens, no! I'm in the retail grocery trade.
Well, what is it?
Well, I couldn't help noticing you drinking rather heavily, so I thought you might be amused by a droll story about a drunk.
This is the last thing we want, him talking to Sir Zachary. Any more aggravation, Sir Zachary will be down on us like a ton of bricks.
Couldn't we just go home and try and sleep it off?
Go home? We live here.
One thing, never mind the details. What's the name of the town?
Ah! Listen, shut up, everybody. Listen to this. Our friend here's just told me a joke. Now, I've never been known to crack my face at anything, least of all the crap that Pentagon Television turns out as so-called comedy. But this is a real gem. Right, the floor's yours.
Oh, thank you. Well, it appears there was this drunk, you see.
Quiet at the back. Listen, you might learn something.
Excuse me. Well, you see, there was this drunk staggering around the street, when suddenly he caught sight of a policeman. He went up to him and he said, "Excuse me, but where the hell am I?" And the policeman, a typical English bobby, said, "You're at the corner of Tottenham Court Road and Oxford Street." And the drunk said, "Never mind the details, what's the name of the town?"
It's the way he tells it.
I got another one. There was a young woman went to the doctor. He said, "Get behind that screen and take your clothes off." So she removed her vest.
Don't waste your wit on these, Mullins. Save it for someone who can appreciate it. Who are you? What's your name?
Major Clifford Turnbull, R.E. retired. Blood and guts to my friends.
You sound as if you were a man of action.
Was and still am. And if the storm clouds gather over Europe and England needs me, you've only got to ring our Basingstoke branch and ask for Turnbull of cold meats, and I'm ready. Now, I do hope you don't get Doreen on the switchboard. A very well-meaning girl, but doesn't know her arse from her elbow.
What do you think it's the name? Blood and guts.
I'm glad you asked that, because that's a long and damnably fascinating story.
Well, that's all right. We've got all night.
By and large, mine was a pretty good war. I think my proudest moment was when I first clapped eyes on Vi. Viscount Montgomery. Always insisted that I call him Vi. Turnbull, he said, the lad's morale is beginning to crack. Always being subjected to the same terrible onslaught. We can't stand much more.
One of Rommel's panzer divisions?
No, one of Enser's panzer dancers. Not just stuff to give the troops, believe you me. However, to cut a long and colourful story short, Vi put me in charge of entertainment. And from that moment, I never looked back. Of course, I always found it very hard to get through to Ike.
I know.
Who else? Whenever I went to see him, he was always tied up with this D-Day landing business. But as soon as I discovered his weakness for gossip, I had him eating out of my hand.
When did you get out of the army?
As soon as hostilities finished. Once the ink on the treaty was dry, I was off. And I thought I'd offer my services to the field of entertainment. And Dickie thought it was a good idea.
Dickie?
Mountbatten. You probably know him as Lord Louis.
I don't know him at all.
But Winnie was against the whole idea.
Winnie being Churchill.
No, Winnie being Atwell. Winifred Atwell. Looked up from her keyboard and she said, "Clifford, this is not the life for you. Carve out a future in brisket and pork luncheon meat. Supermarkets are coming in. They're the new thing. Get in on the ground floor."
And did you?
Yes, and that's where I stayed. On the ground floor. But I kept my hand in. Organised the Christmas do. Bit of a sing-song, few jokes. But I still don't feel that I'm being fully stretched.
You'll have plenty of room to stretch yourself here at Pentagon Television.
Thank you, Zachary. Your confidence will be rewarded, sir.
I know it, lad. Well, here you are, Blood and Guts. Your theatre of war. The future belongs to you. Grasp it with both hands.
Gentlemen, I would like to propose a toast to the speedy departure of Clifford Turnbull, our new head of variety.
I'll drink to that.
Why, is he that bad?
Well, we don't really know. I mean, since he arrived here last Monday, he's locked himself in his office and refuses to come out.
Probably the shock of finding out what this department's achieved over the past year.
I caught a quick flash of him in the bog this morning.
Did he speak?
No, hid behind the roller towel and read the wall.
Anything new in there?
No, well, one nasty slander about Miss Pritchard of drama accuses her of wearing women's clothes.
Well, someone ought to chalk up Turnbull must go. So start a war of nerves, you know.
Well, why bother? None of our heads of variety have lasted more than a month.
Yeah, and if Turnbull carries on here like he did at Sir Zachary's party, I give him a fortnight.
Well, I think that you're being a bit harsh on our new chief. I mean, he's like me. But he's trying to overcome his natural shyness. He's probably retiring.
The sooner, the better.
Well then, lady?
Producer and right-hand man if you need one, sir. I thought I'd just pop along and fill you in on the other personnel.
Oh yes, where are they? What's holding them up?
I expect the barman is still trying to pick them up off the club room floor, sir.
What, members of my department consuming alcohol during working hours?
Well, I personally wouldn't dream of it, sir. Not that I'm antisocial. In fact, I'm rather a good mixer.
Well, don't try mixing it with me, lady. But I can't find callers or bootlickers.
I do agree, sir. In fact, I'll furnish you with a list of all the crawlers and bootlickers in the department.
First things first, lady. Attention, attention, all light entertainment personnel. Now hear this. This is your commanding officer, Major Clifford Turnbull speaking. You are to report to the operations room immediately at the double. Now that I have assumed command, I want you to know that any absentees can expect no quarter from me unless he or she is excused duty on medical grounds.
Fictitious. I suppose you really ought to make the effort.
Oh, don't be so wet. We're creative personnel, not a bunch of squatties.
There's only one person who holds the whip hand in Pentagon, and that's Sir Zachary Stein.
Oh, one word from me would all be for the chop.
Attention! Attention! In future, I shall refer all breaches of discipline to our Supreme Commander, Sir Zachary Stein.
Stein! First-class idea, sir. This department's long overdue for a rocket from him. Our casting director, Jellicoe Withers.
I heard that, sir. Don't you listen to this little poof. He's always stirring it, putting it around that I'm always running around after radiant young scrubbers. Don't you worry, sir. I'll see you all right for Christmas. She's ash blonde, a lovely little mover. Her name is Wanda Piggott.
This amounts to insubordination. If you think you can corrupt your commanding officer, you're making a great big move.
Oh, enormously are, sir. Strapping.
Gentlemen, sorry we're late.
We ran all the way.
It won't happen again.
Right, now you're all here. I want you to form a line over there. Tallest on the left, shortest on the right. Move! Now, the sloppiness of this department is incredible. Not only your program output, but also your personal appearance. Do that button up. And who are you, my dear?
Faye Bush, sir.
Nice to see everything shipshape.
And Bristol fashion.
Perhaps, obviously. That is disgrace. I want to see the reflection of my face in those toe caps for tomorrow morning. They are a disgrace. What are they?
They're suede, sir.
What are they?
They're a disgrace.
That's better. Right, at ease, men. Smoke if you want. Now, some of you will probably think that I'm a bit of a martinet. And some of you won't, because you don't know what the word means. Martinet, tyrant, slave driver. But if that's what it takes to put Pentagon Television on the map, I shall be all those things. However, if you will play ball with me, I shall play ball with you. Now, I have here the ratings, the top 20 programs, and I'm afraid they make very sad reading. Gather round. However, there is one small ray of hope. Right at the bottom here, Pentagon Television seem to be putting on a program called Jackson & Co. So what is that? Drama, comedy show?
Jackson.
They're the people who printed the chart.
If you'd like to hear some of my experiences with ratings.
I don't want to hear any of your squalid little tittle-tattle about the Portsmouth dockyard. Thank you very much. Now, don't all speak at once. But what are your program plans for the future? What are you doing at present? Let us put it another way. What have you done in the past?
Oh, I don't know if you remember a little spectacular of mine called The Big Splash.
No, I never watch television. Kills the art of conversation. Well, it's obvious that the situation is desperate. However, there is one who won't fail us.
I shouldn't bother Sir Zachary Stein, sir.
He's a very busy man.
I was referring to someone even higher than Sir Zachary.
Not Mary Whitehouse.
Now, before we bow our heads in prayer, fall out Roman Catholics and Jews.
Only on my mother's side.
3, we ask only for the inspiration to carry us upwards, that we may find everlasting joy in occupying places 1, 2, and 3 in the 10 ratings, and deliver us from It's a Knocker. Over and out.
Amen.
Now, our task is not going to be an easy one, because there's no common denominator. One man's beat is another man's huey green. And it wouldn't do for us all to like the same thing. Now tell me, did I ever tell you my story about the drunk and the policeman?
It's the way you tell it, sir. You have the gift.
It creased me up.
Classic, a little gem.
I didn't hear it.
Ah, you find that funny, do you? Well, let me tell you, the drink is no laughing matter. Do you know how many hours were lost through drunkenness last year?
270,304.
And that was in this department alone.
Well, I think I made my point. I want you all to go away, mull over what I said, and come back tomorrow with some bright, fresh ideas. And remember, clean living is the only safeguard.
I think that deserves a little clap.
Right, men, back to your posts. My dear, if you want any black market nylons, let me know.
Then I think our new chief's really got something.
Yes, about another 5 minutes here if he keeps on like that.
He's a nutcase.
Yes, but the point is, what are we going to do? I mean, he wants program ideas.
And he'll get them. We'll lumber Turnbull with every half-baked project we've ever started.
Everything that's failed to get off the ground.
All the washouts, all the rubbish.
Underwater none.
My wife's dustbin.
Hit the top.
Beat the bottom.
Bless the buses.
We'll keep Turnbull so busy he won't surface for months.
Enter. Ah, good morning, my dear.
Good morning, Major. Here you are, Major. The fruits of our labour. We all put our heads together and came up with a brand new comedy show. The Rabbi Next Door.
Oi, yeah. This'll take me a month of Sundays to get through.
Oh, good.
Pardon?
Good. I mean, it's very, very good. It'll keep you in fits. It's all about this rabbi who works part-time in a pickle factory and lives next door to a Mother Superior with 3 teenage children. You'll love it.
Well, you're a reliable chap, Miss Bush, so I'll take your word for it. I'll have them sent round to Sir Zachary Stein straight away.
Sir Zachary?
Yes, he's impatient to see what we've produced.
Oh, well, in that case, I'll pop round there myself.
I think a bit of the old, soft, feminine charm might go down rather well with Sir Zachary.
It might, but Cheever Jones is busy, so I'll go.
Aye. Did you see her show last night? It beats me how she gets the work. Do you reckon producers give her jobs because she sleeps with them?
No, I think it's because she threatens to sleep with them.
What a knockout of an idea, Faye.
Well, I had to do something drastic. It was desperate. So when I gave the script to Sir Zachary, I let Turnbull take the credit.
Do you mean to say that Sir Zachary actually believes that Turnbull wrote all that rubbish?
He's convinced of it.
Well, Turnbull will be kicked out before he can say nickel elastic.
I almost feel sorry for him, the poor old fool.
Almost. Back to the bacon counter.
At ease. Don't get up. I've been having an audience with Sir Zachary.
Oh, has he read the script?
Yes, from cover to cover. Said he'd never seen anything like it. Ah, well, it's been very interesting working with you all these past few days as head of variety.
The golden handshake.
No, I'm to be executive producer of the series.
What series?
The Rabbit Next Door. And we're going to do 30 of them. We start tomorrow, so I shall want maximum efficiency. So no more drinking tonight. Right stuff. Close that bar. Remember, this could be our finest half hour.